Part 1. Floor pan and V-drain consists of 7 steps. Step 1. Remove OEM trim pieces from lower B-pillar and rear door on both driver and passenger sides. Step 2. Place floor pan into foot area of car over the factory flooring. Step 3. Drill a 2-inch hole through the floorboard and bottom car cover in the floor pan. Center the hole on the recessed area of the passenger side footwell to make room for the V-drain assembly. Step 4. Remove the lower rear fasteners from car cover found under the vehicle to access the previously drilled hole from Step 3. Step 5. Pull down lower cover for easier installation of the large plastic nut to fasten the V-drain to the vehicle. Step 6. Reinstall OEM fasteners to secure bottom car cover in its original position. The V-drain should protrude through the bottom car cover. Step 7. Replace the stock trim pieces back into the vehicle. Your floor pan is now installed. Part 1 complete. Now for Part 2, we're going to tackle the seat system and the OS belt. It consists of 21 steps. Step 1. Line up the C-pillar drill template, part number PY60DT, with the seat belt slot on the C-pillar. Drill a 1/8 inch pilot hole through the OEM trim. Remove template and drill the pilot hole out to a 1 1/4 inch hole. Step 2. Remove the OEM fasteners from seat pillar that hold the factory seat belts in place. Roll up and zip tie the factory seat belts and tuck them inside the C-pillar trim. Step 3A. Gather the 3 factory belt buckles that were fastened to the OEM seats. Make sure they are still plugged into the connectors on the floorboard. Step 3B. Place the gathered buckles into the provided plastic bag and secure them to the floor frame using the provided zip ties. Step 4. Install the 2 legs, part numbers PY62, the driver's side, and PY63, the passenger side, onto the floor frame using the OEM bolts. Step 5. Install the retractor anchor bracket, part number PY88, to the floor of the vehicle using the OEM fasteners. Step 6. Using the provided M10 by 90 mm long bolts, secure the top bar to the C-pillars. Use the provided 2.5 inch long spacers, part number P110, between the top bar wings and the driver and passenger side C-pillars. Step 7. Fasten the top bar assembly to legs using the provided 3/8 inch 16 by 3/4 inch long screws. Step 8. Attach the hip side tongue brackets, part number PY64-1 and PY64-2, to the floor near the driver and passenger side C-pillars using the OEM bolts. Step 9. Fasten the hip side tongues, part number PT81, to the brackets using the provided 7/16 inch 20 by 1 inch long bolts and nuts. Step 10A. This step is optional. If you're using the square conduit for the Ready for the Road package, trim the seat notch from the lower center part of the seat. Cut along the formed edge from the underside of the seat for the correct size and shape. Step 10B. Place the formed plastic seat, part number PY41, inside the vehicle and push into place back against the top bar. Step 11. Run the hip side tongues through the slots found on each side of the formed plastic seat. Step 12. Fasten the C-toothed retainer, part number P004, onto the hip side tongue and the seat using the provided number 6 by 5/8 inch long sheet metal screws. Step 13. Run the seat belt from the top bar through the top back slots in the center of the seat, through the sliding buckle, part number P002, and down through the center seat slots. 14. Fasten the static end of the seat belt to the anchor bracket on the floor. Step 15. Fasten belt slot covers, part number P005B, to the center slots in the seat using the provided number 6 by 5/8 inch long sheet metal screws. Step 16. Using the roof template, part number PY90DT, mark and drill 2 1¼ inch holes into the headliner. Step 17. Remove the 2 existing 6mm factory fasteners exposed from drilling through the headliner and install the 2 screen support standoffs, part number P125. Step 18. Attach the screen, part number PY90 or PY91, to the top bar using the provided 1/4 by 1/2 inch long screws. Step 19. Attach the breakaway panels, part number PY90-4D and PY90-4P, to the top bar using the provided 1/4 by 3/4 inch long bolts and 1/4 nylon nuts. Step 20. Install the screen supports, part numbers PY90-1 and PY90-2, using the provided 2 1/4 by 1/2 inch long screws and 4 1/4 by 3/4 inch long bolts and nylock hex nuts. Step 21. Attach the plastic cargo cover, part numbers PY92D, PY92P, and PY92-1, to the back side of the top bar assembly using the already installed 1/4 by 1/2 inch long screws. If you're installing the electronics fold-down cover, please skip this step. Your seat system and OS belt is now installed. Part 2 complete. Part 3. Electronics fold-down cover consists of 5 steps. Step 1. Fasten the hinged base assembly, part number PY97, onto legs using the provided 1/4 by 1/2 inch long screws. Step 2A. Attach fold-down panel, part number PY96, onto hinged base assembly using the provided 1024 nylock nuts. Step 2B. Fasten panels to edges of hinge assembly. Step 3. Attach the 1/4 by 4 inch long threaded rods onto the upper PEM nut on both the driver and passenger side legs. Use the provided 1/4 nylock nuts as a jam nut to secure the all-thread rod. Step 4. Fasten the filler panels, part number PY92CPD and PY92CPP, to both sides of the electronics fold-down cover. Step 5. Fold up cover and fasten with the provided 1/4 nylock nuts. Your electronics fold-down cover is now installed. Part 3 complete. Part 4. The front partition install consists of 11 steps. Step 1. Remove the driver and passenger side factory grab handles found on the B-pillars. Step 2. Install the slider, part number W154-17, onto the driver's side leg assembly, part number WY154-1. Step 3. Remove the outer OEM bolts from the driver and passenger side seat slide brackets. Step 4. Attach the legs, part number WY154-1 and WY154-2, to the floor of the vehicle. Sandwich the flange between the floorboard and the seat slide bracket. Use the OEM bolts removed from Step 3. Step 5A. Attach the standoff assembly, part number P125, to the lower grab handle holes in both B-pillars. Step 5B. Install both the driver and passenger side B-pillar brackets, part number WY154-3 and WY154-4, onto the spacers with the provided 1/4 by 1/2 inch long screws. Step 6. Place partition screen assembly, part number W151, onto the legs and attach with one 3/8 inch 16 by 2.5 inch long flathead bolt and one 3/8 inch 16 nylock hex nut on each side. Just finger tighten the nuts at this time. Step 7. Place the partition barrier, part number WY152, inside the vehicle and attach to framework using the previously installed bolts and additional 3/8 16 by 2.5 inch long bolts and nylock hex nuts. Please note the 5 1/4 bolts from the lower window assembly must be removed, then reinstalled through the partition barrier during this step. Step 8. Install both driver and passenger side filler panels, part number WY152-1 and WY152-2, using the provided 1/4 by 3/4 inch long bolts. Step 9. Assemble breakaway panels, part number WY158-1, WY158-2, and WY158-3. 4. Install those onto the partition frame using the provided hardware, number 10 by 3/4 inch long self-drilling, self-tapping screws. Step 10. Attach the storage tongues onto the front partition using the provided number 10 by 3/4 inch long self-drilling sheet metal screws. Step 11A. Install lower filler panel brackets, part number WY154-12, using the provided number 10 by 3/4 inch long self-drilling sheet metal screws. Step 11B. Drill a 9/32 inch hole through the bracket in the filler panel. Step 11C. Install a 1/4 by 3/4 inch long bolts and nuts to secure filler panels to the bracket on both driver and passenger sides. Your front partition is now installed. Part 4 complete. Part 5, Window Guard, consists of one step. Step 1. Place the window guard, part number PY121D and PY121P, over the rear door window and window frame with the bent flange towards the window and secure with the 30, number 10 by 1 inch long self-drilling sheet metal screws. Your window guard is now installed. Part 5 complete. Part 6, Door Control Covers, consists of one step. Step 1. Place the lock and door release handle covers, part number PY105-1D, PY105-2D, PY105-1P, and PY105-2P over the controls and secure with the 16, number 6 by 5/8 inch long sheet metal screws. Your door control covers are now installed. Part 6 complete. Thank you for choosing Prisoner Transport Systems.